What's going on, everyone? So, James Gunn's Superman comes out July 11th, 2025, and we are starting to get little glimpses, little looks into the world of the Kryptonian. James Gunn, it's going to be very interesting to see his take and how he kind of tries to shift and kind of resuscitate DC here, as they have just not been able to keep up. Also, like, what will it look like with the superhero fatigue and everything that Marvel's done. Even Marvel is pivoting and trying to change what they're doing and the directions that they're going about it. But James Gunn had a ton of success in the world of Marvel, and now he gets to take over these big projects for DC and try to kind of map out and see what he can create. And what better way to start than with Superman, right? And now we got the first look of what the symbol of hope and justice and Superman will look like. And it's kind of funny, like a lot of people are talking about the texture of just kind of like the suit, because this is clearly the suit. And I mean, it's kind of hard to tell just by like a little central screenshot of the S, but I I think it's fine. I mean, we'll see what it looks like on David and how he. To me, it comes down to the portrayal. How does David portray Clark Kent, and how does he go about the role of Superman? Right, the aesthetic, the look, I think is there. The cast is pretty solid, which we do have a cast update. I'll definitely fill you in on that here in a moment. But as far as like the texture of the suit, right? That's always been a real thing. And we'll see one how this movie kind of unfolds and opens up the rest of the DC world. I think it'll also be interesting to see like what are the comparisons um as far as like the James Gunn David version of Superman and the previous DC Superman, uh, Henry Cavill, right? What does Henry Cavill's Superman compare to this version of Superman? And here is our first look. So this is supposed to be, this is from Shades of Alchemy. I got these images of David Cornswet as Superman in the full costume, ready, set, go. And this is kind of like the classic aesthetic, the classic look. And again, he David has the look, right? Like that was one of the big things about Henry Cavill, was that Henry just he had the Superman look. Like you looked at him, you saw him when he was in the costume, when he was in the suit with the muscles and the look, and he fit that role beautifully. And it was just such a surprise that it's like DC's gonna let basically their best casting go and allow him to leave to now go pursue Marvel, because he's supposed to be working out something with Marvel, and you're gonna replace him and kind of go a new kind of reset. Here's a new beginning. Here's a new everything, right? So that to me it was a very interesting approach. But look, judging by these images, judging by the look, I like it. I think it looks fine as far as Superman. We'll see how, again, the portrayal, because to me the portrayal is everything. How does it come across? How does David approach this? Right? Does he have the tone and the charisma to kind of push that through? Right? What's his relationship with Rachel and Lois Lane as a character? Nicholas Holt and Lex Luthor, right? Because that's a big dynamic. That's a big pairing. And then all the other little cast and crew who's involved, right? You have Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. You have Maria Gabriela de Ferra as the villain, the engineer. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. You have Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen. So the cast itself is something that, again, it's just it I like the look, right? I like the casting choices for some of these. Again, obviously the actors and then the on screen are two very different things and can be approached very differently. But you know, Superman, at the end of the day, Superman, the look, the actor, the aesthetic, the performance, the portrayal, the imagery, the costume, right? There's just so many intricacies that go into Superman. But guess what? It boils down to the name and the character of Clark Kent and Superman. Because that's what everyone's there to see. Obviously, we love ourselves, a Lois Lane and a Lex Luthor and the various characters, and they're gonna just jam pack as much of this as they can into this film. They're gonna try to have all the little like surprise. I'm sure there's gonna be some surprise cameos, and there's gonna be all kinds of setup and groundwork being laid to try to just set up the wave of the direction for DC as a whole. But you got to get this movie right. Right? At the end of the day, like that's to me what it's going to boil down to. Do they get this movie right? Are they going to be able to use this as the springboard to go in the direction that James Gunn has envisioned? It's what it boils down to. But I do like the look. Again, we don't know for certainty that this is undoubtedly like the actual costume and how it's going to look in the film. We'll see. These are just kind of still shots from a distance that somebody was able to take to kind of just share with the world, leak with the world. So we'll see. But again, I really like the look of Superman. But we're not done there. Perry White, chief editor of the Daily Planet, is officially going to be played by Wendell Pierce. So Wendell Pierce is officially joining the cast and is taking on the role of Perry White, the boss of Clark Kent and Lois Lane at the Daily Planet. Previously, Pierce memorably played Detective Bunk Moreland in the hit HBO drama The Wire. Personally, I'm not really super familiar with The Wire. I know it was a very popular show. A lot of people really liked it. I'm not very familiar personally with Perry White, but just judging by the cast and the way that they've approached it, I imagine that he's going to have a good portrayal. I imagine that he's going to play the role well. Obviously, the Daily Planet is a huge piece and a huge factor to Superman and the Superman story. What does that dynamic look like? What type of role does that play? How do they kind of piece Superman into this? Where do they kind of pick up all the things, right? There's a lot they got to unfold and lay out in this film. But you're starting to see the vision. You're starting to see everything kind of culminate and come together. And James Gunn, again, he has his work cut out for him. DC has kind of been the child left out in the rain, right? Like DC is just kind of had these like several different like reboots and variations and like retcons and some movies were good, some movies, but they haven't really had that like here it is, right? Like Marvel for a long time was doing everything right. But also, can DC, which is something that I was touching on earlier, right? Can DC even get it right? Right? I mean, they have the character base, they have, the fandom and whatnot, but one, being second is always kind of a rough position to be in, right? With Marvel being so established, but also you can make the argument with Marvel being so vulnerable right now. It's a great opportunity for DC to kind of come in, swoop in, and kind of change the narrative. But the other real big concern is, are people just burnt out and tired of the superhero movies? Are people just burnt out on the same old rhetoric, right? Like, how does this fare? But I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel about the upcoming Superman? What do you think of the images? What do you think of the leaks? What do you think of the news? And now, what do you think of James Gunn and what he has envisioned for this upcoming film? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.